Welcome everybody. Thanks for coming to Focus Gallery. Appreciate you coming out to our open house. My name's Loren Fisher. I'm one of the partners here. So I've been a photographer since 1978 full-time, and now my passion is landscape and nature-based photography. And I get asked a lot if I carry a camera with me all the time, and the answer is no, I don't. Once in a while I come across something that's pretty unique and fun, like this woman who was riding her horse in a vicious snowstorm. And so I asked her, what are you doing out on a horse in a snowstorm? And she said, well, my car didn't start this morning, so I rode my horse to work. She said it was only 3 miles. And I'm like, okay, you're a true Vermonter, right? So usually when I'm being a photographer, I'm a photographer. When I'm not, I'm not. So I'm a very intentional photographer, and it is pretty rare that I come across something that I want to take a picture of and I haven't planned for it, or it's the perfect time. But just because it's not the perfect time doesn't mean I'm not looking. I keep a pretty extensive log of places to go, times to be there. Could be time of year, time of day, and whatever season it should be. So when I do have time to go out and shoot, I know where I want to go. Being a gallery owner, don't get to go out and photograph every day like I'd like to. I have to run a business. So one of the most important things to me is light. And the true meaning of photography is the capture of light. So that is what I'm looking for most of the time. And having the right light is a major factor in taking a photograph beyond a snapshot to a real piece of art. This is a sand dune in Namibia, and it is orange at sunrise and sunset because of the iron ore in the sand. But I hate getting out of bed early, but I love the beauty of sunrise light. The world is calmer at sunrise. Everything just slows down, and frequently in Vermont there's mist in the air, and the air is cleaner and purer than the rest of the day because the dust from the day hasn't built up, and light has just a special quality. And I really love long shadows and what happens when light becomes a shadow and how it adds detail and texture to a scene. That's one I did with my drone, looking straight down on trees and shadow on the snow. But finding the right light on a subject takes many trips sometimes. This is a place that I've been to 50, 100 times maybe, and just that one day the light and the color were a special treat for me. So I'll go back until it's right, no matter how many trips it takes. But if the light isn't right, whenever I can, I'll add light. So this is the Milky Way, and it is pitch black dark out there, and I used a small flashlight to light up the fence and the grass. Actually, it was my headlamp. And then I have an embarrassing number of flashlights, all different sizes. So I can light up pretty much anything, that as long as everything else is dark. So a fairly small flashlight to light up a covered bridge under the Milky Way. Then I have a huge one that's 18 million candle power, and this is a waterfall in Oregon that I lit up from about half a mile away. And so it's called Cyclops. It's a big monster, but it really puts out the light. So I love to light up all kinds of things, lighthouse in Acadia National Park. But one of the things I really look for is simplicity in my images. A lot of people tell me I have a simple mind, so I make a simple picture, right? And anytime there are things in my picture, in my composition that don't add to whatever I'm trying to say, I find a way to get them out of there by moving my position or changing my lens or doing something to make the picture not have unwanted elements because they become distractions. So there are times when you just can't move out of the way to get power lines out of there. So then I have to resort to Photoshop, and I'll take wires out. So there's some phone lines going across this barn. There's no way to get them out of there, but they were horrible distractions. So we'll do it in the computer afterwards. So sometimes there's even just a stick, and if there's a bright stick down in the corner down here, and that just absolutely ruins the photo. So if I don't take that out, you're going to be looking at that spot in the photo rather than the bird itself. But my processing is done in a way that brings out what I saw when I was there. I try not to over-process, and I want it to be, when I make a print, what I saw. And I have this saying that if you can tell that I worked on it in the computer, that I worked on Photoshop, then I failed. So people ask us all the time, because so many things are now created with AI and computers, and we're pretty pure. We'll take things out, but we try to keep it looking like what we saw. And you know, I'm not in the game to fool anyone. I just want to, at least most of the time, let them enjoy what I was enjoying. So I'm just trying to bring out what I saw and diminishing the things that I don't want you to see, right? And it's a game. It's a game of just making sure my most important thing in the picture is what you see. So I like to think of it as I'm trying to control your mind, a little bit of mind control here. And my best pictures show the passion that I have for whatever I'm looking at. I tend to find when I don't have an interesting photo, it's because I didn't feel anything for the shot, for what was there. So it'll fall flat and you won't look at it very long, and definitely won't want it hanging on your walls. So for me, having a strong center of interest in the photo is vital, usually. I can always show you an example it's not, but something that's very prominent and dominant in the photo makes for a stronger photo. And it's where I want you to look in the photo. Again, mind control. I want you to look one place and then explore the rest of the photo from that single spot. So everything in my photos are meant to tell a story. And if there are elements that don't tell the story, then they're a distraction. Let's find a way to get them out. So hopefully I'm using all the creative tools that a photographer has available, whether it's a selection of lenses or composition, composition being very, very important. And again, I'm very intentional in my composition. I want certain things in there, and I don't want anything that doesn't add to it. And so I use a tripod 95% of the time. I shoot absolutely everything I can on a tripod, which slows me down. And when I slow down, I think more and I look more. If I don't use a tripod, I tend to rush through things, and I end up missing things because I'm just speeding by. And so it's funny how often I can't see a good photo until I really stop and look around. You know, I was on this road and loved the beauty of the road and the fence, and then, I don't know, I was there 5, maybe 10 minutes, and I said, wait a minute, there's a horse standing there. And, oh, yeah, work the horse into the photo. And so I always encourage people, slow down, look around, enjoy, and just take in the beauty of where you are. Thanks for coming by the gallery today. Anybody have any questions? Do I use a filter on lenses? A polarizer once in a while, which will darken skies and take reflections off of things. A polarizer is very helpful for fall foliage, because it can be a little, if the leaves are a little bit wet, the polarizer will eliminate the glare off the water and bring out the color. But, yep. Thank you very much. Have a great day.